So we have discussed about how to create an incident from the ATF perspective view and how to create, how to do things in UI actions, how to click a UI actions in by using ATFs and everything. Whatever the form level things are there, we have discussed about this. Now it's time to go for, I can say related list or list. So guys, this is the most important steps what you can use. So if you can learn this step, that is almost 10% of your ATFs will cover under the steps only. That means you will always use the same similar kind of things in every organization. But whatever I am saying, that was a best practice. That was a best practice. So very rare people are using this kind of practices to open a records in a list. So guys, I'm sharing my screen. First of all, I'll create a problem. Then I'll go with the yeah, 1 second. So first of all, I'll create a problem. Then I'll go with related lists or list, right? So so before starting ATFs, guys, just make sure you need to open your manual test cases side by side, guys. If you haven't opened your manual test flow, you are not able to create your ATFs properly. Why? Because you are not supposed to have, you can misses, you can skip, yeah, you can skip it one step also. So that is the main reason why you need to open your. So now guys, I have opened a problem new record. I'm giving a problem statement as test for ATF. So I'm submitting this record. Then it will open a list list view. Then I am opening the same record here. So guys, keep this aside, and first of all, I need to show something else, guys. What is that? So as we already discussed, we have created a users, and some particular users will by the end user perspective view, how incident will rise, how problem will rise, right? So I want to create a user. So as we have ITIL user, so I'll just give me a second. I'm just having ITIL user, whether he's having perfect roles to create a problem or not. We'll check this and then we'll create ITIL user. Okay, I'm creating new. Yeah, ITIL user also can. Okay, yes. So guys, make sure as an admin only you can create ATFs, guys, right? So if you have impersonated as something else user, you those who is not having any admin roles, you are not supposed to create ATFs, right? So I'm ending impersonation as ITL user. I just want to check whether ITL user can create a problem record or not. That's it. So I have ended impersonation. Now I'm as a system administrator. So first of all, open your users table. Check which roles are available for ITAL. That means so I'm opening this. How to check the roles, guys? So just go to user table and search for the user, right? Once you have this thing, if you can give ITL, and template editor. There are total 40 roles are having for the ITL user. So I just go to ATF and I'm creating a new test. Okay. So guys, this is the most important thing, guys. So basically, what is the best part of ATF? So we can create users. So I'll show you. Problem cycle. So I'm saving this record. So what happens? Basically, we have a step called create user. So as we know that, so for example, I want to run ATF as an end user, right? I don't know who is end user, but I know only the roles of the end user. So if I can hard coded the user, so if I haven't created any user, guys, those who are creating ATF, he is the person who is running the ATF forever. So that means if I can create a user, so if I can create a user with the similar roles, I haven't impersonated the user with a hard coded user. So suppose one user is there, right? Pravalika is there in some XYZ company. So, right. So Pravalika is a product owner. Then she is leaving the organization after some time. So I have impersonated, I have hard coded as Pravalika, right? Then what happens? Basically, once she left, right, our ATF script will fail. So to avoid that, we can create a user with the roles Pravalika has having. With the same roles, I'll create an user. That is the beauty of the ATF, guys. That means you are not hard coding. Even though Pravalika will left the organization also, you can able to run your scripts thoroughly. You are not supposed to uh, stick. I mean, this is an user what you have created. There is no hard coded user is available, right? So it will long last in your system for a long time. So I'm creating a user, those who is having an. I mean, if you can see. So here, guys, I am. Yes. Okay. So guys, created I have given a first name as problem test and last name as user ITL, right? So here we can select roles, what roles we need. So I'm giving the role as ITL. I'm giving ITL admin, and I can extend more roles, ITL also. So I'm locking this. If we can add the groups also, that we can add, you guys. So if ITL user is belongs to some particular group, so we can give the group as well, right? So as of now, I'm not giving the group. If you want, you can give the groups also. So apart from that, we have a checkbox here, impersonate with this user. What does this mean, guys? So basically, we have created the user, right? So if we can check this checkbox, it will automatically impersonate with this particular user what we are creating here, right? So if you are not checking the checkbox, the impersonation will not happen. It was just created an user. It was not impersonating as a particular user what you are created. So make sure if you want to impersonate, if you want to run your ATF with this particular user, you can keep this checkbox as checked and you can impersonate this, right? So otherwise you can uncheck this checkbox. Sometimes you need to uncheck this checkbox. Why? Because you need to use this user in after 40 steps, 30 steps. So wherever the module has been changed, you need to use that user. So at that time only you can uncheck this checkbox. Just you have created a user, you are not impersonating with that user. So although we have alternate way also, we are creating user, so we are unchecking this checkbox also. Then we can use one more step called impersonate user also. So as I'm not using that step, I don't want to be make this clumsy. So simply I am checking this checkbox as an ITL user. I'm submitting this record, right? So here we have, if you can see, impersonate also here, right? So what is meant by impersonate? So impersonate is nothing but as we want to see as another user, we can impersonate that user. So we can create the user. If we can uncheck that checkbox, we can take this step as well, guys. In the second step, we can take this step. So if we check that checkbox, you are not able to do it. You are not able to take the step, right? So guys, I want to discuss one more thing here as we have opened server side steps. What is server side steps, guys? Server side steps is nothing but database related things, right? So it doesn't require any UI. So although we haven't opened our client test runner in a window, we are using only server side steps. You are not supposed to open your client test runner window also, it will run. So only for the user interface, that means user interface, those client side, those are client side. What are the things will be done on the client side, then only client test runner should be opened in a particular window. If we are using the steps for the server side, you are not supposed to open a cloud test runner in a separate window, you are not to be on that page, then also it will find. Why? Because it was pulling the data from the back end, you are not opening from the client side, right? So how client test runner usually run, guys? So basically one window will open in a new tab, right? So it will count the, basically a client test runner will count whatever the page is open, it will read that page only, guys. So for server side, why it was not required? Because it was pulling the data from the backend. It doesn't require any UI page to open, right? So that is the reason we have record query. This is the most important step, guys, record query. So you will use in further sessions. You'll definitely know this record queries, guys, thoroughly. So even though you are stuck somewhere, you can use record query, guys. This is the most important step in the ATF. If you can know how to use record query and custom steps and open a list, your ATF will 40 to 60% ATF will covered in these three steps, guys. One is record query, and another is open a record from the list view, and third one is using a custom steps, guys. If you learn these three perfectly, your ATF will almost covered up to 60%, guys. I can make sure that. So record query is the most important step. If you have stuck somewhere, so whether the record has been created or not, I need to check whether that record has been there or not on the particular table. So you can definitely use record query, guys. Suppose you have created a incident or problem record. So what I need from the record query is, I need to see whether my record has been created from the ATF or not, right? Whether the record has been existed on that particular problem table or not. So at that time, what I need to take, I can take record query step, guys, right? I can take record query step and I simply use record query, and on the problem table I'll give some filter conditions, whatever I have given on my record. So it will open that record, guys, right? So record insert means if you want to insert a record somewhere. So for example, you have, this is not that much of important, guys, but although it will use somewhere only, not thoroughly. So record query is used thoroughly, guys. So if you want, coming to the record insert, if you want to insert a record in the table from the backend itself, you are not supposed to, for example, I have a problem. So I don't want to open a problem ticket. I don't want to open a problem page. I don't want to fill all the details, everything I don't want. So but I need to record, I need to insert a record on the problem table. At that time, without opening our particular pages, we can insert a record on the table, right, guys? So this is the use of that particular record insert. And coming to the record update, so for example, I have created a problem ticket, guys. So I have submitted for take this as an example, PRB 004003. So I have created this record. So I want to update that particular record without going to the form or something else. Directly, if I can take this record update, it will update the record as well. Record delete means if you want to delete any record, you can use this thing, guys. Record validation. Record is available or not. So whether the record exists, if you can see, guys, everything is noted here in the right side. Record validation is nothing but validates that record meets the specific conditions on the server side or not. So several conditions can be applied to the same field if it desired. So run server side script, guys. So basically this step also use those who is not having perfect knowledge on ATF. This step will use thoroughly. Those who is having a full command on ATF, they they are they are supposed to avoid this particular step. Even though I never prefer to use run server side scripts, guys. I will achieve everything from the steps what out of OOB steps are there. So I can try with that steps only. If it is not getting possible, then only I'll go with the run server side scripts. Run server side script is nothing but it will execute on a server side. So you need to give a particular script. For example, one record is there, right? So you are not able to updating this record from the manual perspective view. Is this possible? 99% it is possible. 1% in some conditions, there is any conditions or pre-built conditions are there, then it is not possible. At that time only 1% chances are there. You can use these steps, right? So this is also a server side steps, guys. It will replace a previously, for suppose you have created an RITM, you have ordered an catalog item, guys. Then RITM will get right. So once RITM has been created, it will replace to the created RITM with the same values, guys. I mean to say, so for example, one RITM has been created with the variables as color silver and price is 256, sorry, storage is 256 GB. So we can reply the same request item with this step, guys. I can replica, I can play that request item directly from here, right? So you are not supposed to use these steps, guys. But you can use sometimes this step, add attachment to the existing record. So for example, I need to add I need to add a record to the form or an existing record. I can use these steps, guys. Checkout steps, custom scripted steps configurations, everything is there, right? So leave this aside. Now coming to the point, I have created an user and I have impersonated as an user, particular user. Now I have impersonated also, guys. So if you can see here, whether the user is impersonated or not, create an impersonated user with the following values. That means I have created and impersonated with the same user, right? So now I want to open a new form. I want to open a new form. That means I will create an incident record, guys. Right. So, guys, if you can observe, here the table comes as an sys underscore user. Why? Why? Because we have used step number one. The table, the previous step, what we are using is the user table, right? Sys underscore user. That means if you are taking the step, that means that this is the step number one, right? If I am taking the step number two, automatically it will pull that table from the previous step itself, right? That means user table sys underscore user has been coming, right? That is the reason it was there. So, but I want make sure this guys, the table names are very important, right? So here I can open a new form, right? Then I need to open I can open in on form UI, that is a standard UI, that's absolutely fine. But the table what we are using sys underscore user, whether it was correct or not right. So if I can use this one, it will open a record, it will open a form in a sys underscore user table. I don't need, I want to open a record for problem. So I'm giving the table name as problem, guys. Now it will open. I'm submitting this record. Then I'm setting a field values. Guys, I'm making this as faster. Why? Because you know already the flow. Making a field value, setting a field values and all the things. Test demo. Right. So I'm submitting this. So if I can go to this flow, ITL user is able to click on access or not. We'll check that as well, guys. Then I will submit this form. After setting a field values and submitting this form, guys, please go on mute. Okay. So I have submitted this form. Then what we have done from the previous sessions, guys, once the form has been submitted, we need to open the same existing record, right? So for that, what we need to do, we need to click on open an existing record, right? So which record I need to open? Whatever the submit, whatever the record I have submitted, that record needs to be open, right? That is the reason I am taking step number 4, submit a record, guys. If you can submit a form, sorry. So if you can hover a mouse on this step, which step you are using correctly? Step number 1. What is the step number 1? It was a create user. If I can take this create user to open an existing record, it will work. No, right? So whatever the record you have submitted, that record need to be fetched, right? That is the reason. Click on this, tap on this thing, tap on step number 4, right? Then tap on record again. Then only it will take. So I'm saying this again, guys. Just click on data pill first, right? Then give a tap on which step do you want to take. Then it will expand like this. Then again you can tap on the record. So you need to open the record, right? That is the reason you are taking this one, right, guys? So I'm submitting this record. So we'll run this test first, whether it was going perfectly or not. We can check this. So step number 1 has been skipped, right? If you can observe here, I mean, it was not shown. Why? Because it was a server side step, guys. So opening a form is a client side step, right? And if you can see, all the steps has been coming on here. So it was there, but he doesn't have an ITL user doesn't have an access button to click on. So what we can do? We can do in the setting a field values, we can give assign to. If you know the flow, guys, assign to person is able to see the buttons. So for example, here I am an admin. That is the reason I can check everything. If I can impersonate as an ITL user, I am able to see this access button. No, right? But assign to person should able to do. So I am taking assign to as problem manager, and then I'm updating this. So before that, I will take assign to is problem manager, right? So I'm updating this, guys. It was updated. Then I'm reloading this page again. So here we can see, guys, assign to is updated as a problem manager. Till here we are good. So now what we need to do? So we need to impersonate as problem manager. Then only we are able to see the access button. So for example, if I can see this, if you can see this, guys, I am just impersonating as ITL user. You can check it on the flow, guys. I'm just impersonating as an ITL user, and I'm opening this form. See whether he's able to click on any button or not. No, right? There is no buttons. So he is not able to click on the access also. So once I will impersonate as problem manager here, he can have full access to use on. So I have impersonated as problem manager now. So I'm going back to the problem page again. I'm reloading this page. So see, guys, he is having extra buttons, that is confirm, mark duplicate, anything. So as we haven't clicked on the access also earlier, so we can click on the access first, then we will click on the confirm, then as per that we'll go ahead. So guys, I am ending an impersonation. Why? Because make sure always you need to be an admin to run, to create, to do anything for the ATFs. Make sure you need to be an admin. So either you will be an ATF admin, that is also fine, nor you will be full-fledged admin. Then only you can do, right? So guys, if we can see, if I can go to the problem table, sorry, I am refreshing this again. So now till here we are good. What we need to do? So here ITL user, I already impersonated as an ITL user, and I have created all the things. I have opened the existing record also. Till here we are good. Now I am not able to go ahead with the flow. So now what I need to do? I need to impersonate as a problem manager. Then only I can click on the access. Then only I can click on the confirm button. Everything, right? So now I'm adding a step called impersonate user. This time it will use, guys. Come on. Okay. So I am impersonating as problem manager. Uh, So now I have taken the user as problem manager. Right. So now I have impersonated as problem manager. So here we can see guys, warning, impersonating an existing user may cause unexpected behavior for the test. Avoid potential issues by adding a create user step instead. If you can see, ATF also suggesting don't use hard coded users that might impact your things, your behavior of your test performance, your test. So avoid to give hard coded, although it was not a bad. We can go ahead with this thing right now. So if you want to do as a problem manager also, just you can go to create user again and just uh, uncheck the checkbox. Those problem manager who is having an roles, you can give that roles, guys. Now we don't have that much of time, so I am hard coding this user. So problem manager, I have taken as an problem manager. So I can run test now whether it was impersonating or not. We can check that, right? If we can go here, now the form has been opened. Then we can setting a field values. If you can see, problem manager and ATF test demo has been successfully added. Now record has been submitted. The state has been changed to access, guys, automatically. So then we need to click on what. So here we can observe, guys, UI batches are executed. What that means? So it will, if you can see there, UI batches executed 2. That means it was uses as twice. It was running in 2 batches on this particular steps, right? So we can go there. I'll just click on confirm, but I'm not sure if the confirm has came or not. Okay. So oh sorry. So guys, if I can impersonate an user, I need to open the same record, right? Without having an existing record, how I can do? I'm not supposed to do. So ATF page will go to impersonating of user. That's it. Although it was a server side step, it will go there and stuck there only. So now I need to add a step called open an existing record. Use these steps thoroughly, guys. Why? Because if you have used something that is you have created, it will go there and it will stuck over there. But if you can use this, it won't stuck. Use open an existing record after an impersonation. Which record do you need to open? Fourth one only, right? I'm submitting this. Then now I can click on UI action. Click a UI action. Then next, which UI action we need to click on, guys? Confirm. If you can see here, although we are in access stage, we need to click on confirm. Then it will move to RCA, root cause analysis. So I'm clicking confirm. So see guys, I have given the filter conditions. Giving and filter conditions is most important guys. If we can find it out more than one or two UI actions, so you can just go through the comments, then you can able to see. So although there is only one confirm that is available on the problem table, you have not getting any problem. I am taking this confirm step. I'm clicking on this confirm. I'm saving this record. I'm submitting this record. Then after clicking on confirm, what you need to do? So you need to click on fix. So once you will fix this thing, once you click on this fix, right? So it was getting a pop-up. So what we need to do on that pop-up? So before doing that, we have fix notes and cause notes. Both are available, right? There is a cause notes. Okay, there is a fixed notes and okay, so we can do it in another way. Okay, so guys, we have clicked on UI action called confirm. Now the problem is we need to click on the fix button, right? So if we can click on the fix, it will getting a pop-up, right? So usually you are not supposed to click on that pop-ups. So at that time, you need to retrieve the data. That means you can use a custom UI steps. So for now, we can run the test whether it was going till there or not. We can check that. See guys, without having anything, it will execute directly. So if I can stay here, it won't execute. Why? Because these all steps are client side ones, right? So that is the reason UI batches executed as two. So one is server side ones and another is client side ones. So if you can see currently executing as problem test user ITIL, those user I have created. Then it was executing as problem manager. It was impersonated as problem manager. If you can observe here, clearly you can see. So it was, yeah, once we can click on that fix, it was went to a fix root cause analysis. Till here we have achieved from the ATF. So now the problem is to click on the fix. So once we have clicked on the fix, okay, once we have clicked on the fix, what usually it is happening, it was opening a pop-up guys. This is the most important guys. I have said earlier also, once one is using record query, another is using custom UIs, and third one is opening a record from the list views or related list guys. So if you know these three things, you can definitely achieve the ATF. Make sure, please concentrate on this point very well. So now the thing is, when it was the pop-up is happening, once we can click on this fix button, then only pop-up is getting, right? So what I need to do at this time? So I will add a test step called click UI action. Then I will use fix. So search for the fix here on the name itself. So there is only one fix available on the problem. So now I'm taking the step. till here we are good, guys. So I'm running this step again. Whether we have gone there or not, we'll check that, right? So now executing as problem user, then we need to impersonate, then executing as problem manager, we have confirmed, then the state has been changed to RCA, then we have clicked on fix, guys. Yes. So till here we are good, right? So what we need to do? First of all, we can take a step called custom UIs. So here there are both steps are used. One is click component and another is set component values. So click component is nothing but if once the fix has been fixed, right? Click component is nothing but we can click on OK, whatever the pop-up buttons will come, right? We can achieve these steps from the click component. So set component, by using the set components, we can write the things here on the pop-up. So although if we have seen anywhere the cause notes in, I am adding a cause notes and fix notes from the previous steps, guys. I don't want to use that click component set set component values at this moment. Why? Because you will get confused. So I will go back to the page, and once I have setted the field values, here only I can use set values and cause notes, and I will add cause notes. And one more thing is what? Fix notes. Yeah, I'm setting this as well. Fix notes. So guys, fill these two values. Earlier stages only. I'm updating this record. So now I have given these two records from the earlier. So how I can say this is as what I have done is ATF test and I'm saving this record. So guys, I have given these fix notes and cause notes earlier. If I can click on this fix, what it is happening, directly it was jumping back, right? So now got the logic, guys. So if I can give those two values earlier, it was keeping. So if I am not giving that values, it was waiting to give those values. So I want to show I can remove that. I don't want to use in the earlier states. Why? Because I want to use some custom pages, custom steps for you. I'll remove these two steps, guys. I'm updating this record. Oh, I have closed down. Okay. So what I need to do, guys? So I'm adding a step before. Before that, I have to set the component values, guys. So I'm taking these values. Why? Because once we have clicked on fix button, right, that is coming as cause notes and fix notes. Those two fields needs to be filled. Then we can click on the component. Earlier we have clicked on the component, those two are mandatory fields, right? Then there is no use. So here, once I have taken the step called set component values, it was asking for retrieving the components. This is the most important steps, guys. Custom us steps are most important. So we need to retrieve the components. This is the interview questions also. 90% in interview, without this question it wasn't happened. So we need to retrieve this component. So if you can see there, guys, if you are retrieving also, we need to go to cloud test runner. If we are using any client side steps, what the step usually do. So basically it was retrieving whatever the client test runner is happening. I mean, the window has been opened, right? All the values it will read, right? So the last window, which was the last window is there, right? Only that all components will shown for that, right? It will retrieve the components from what windows are opening from the client test runner. Retrieving is nothing but fetching, right? So once it was done, we need to go back to the page and we can click on OK, right? So it was done, guys. Yes. No, it was retrieved bit only. So after this RCA, then we need to click on fix. Then only it will open. So guys, now we are in root cause analysis state. Once we have clicked on that fix, see what happens. It is opening, right? The pop-up has came. So it was retrieved till here. So now we need to fill these two. Then we need to click on OK button. So now we have taken only the step called set component values. It is nothing but we can add the values from this step, right? Which component value you need to use? Cause nodes. Fix. So you can search from here. Resolution code. Huh? It was a checkbox, not a checkbox. Text, checkbox, checkbox. Label is okay. Okay, it was not loaded fully. That is the reason it was not coming. Sometimes it will take time, guys. That is the reason it will happen there. So most of the times, avoid using set component values. Try to use only click components. That will be easier. So I have taken this example. Why? Because how set component will also use, but unfortunately it was not loaded yet. So I will show you for the change management for the custom components, guys. So it was not loaded. So if I can say close code fix notes, I need to retrieve it again, guys. It will take time. So guys, use one do one thing. You use your fix notes. uh, Keep on your mind, guys. If you are not able to achieve from one way, you can think it in multiple ways. You are strucking. So now we are strucking in the step called custom UI. So and that custom UI, what is it happening? So we are not able to fetch the data full-fledgedly. So without using setting a component values, can we achieve that things? Yes, we can achieve. How? We can simply set a field values here in the fix notes and cause notes, then click on fix. Automatically it will move. So this is the alternate way, guys, right? So whenever you have struck, you can find your alternate ways, guys. So at the end we need to complete the cycle, guys. That is the most important thing. Whether you will use a custom us, whether you will use normal things, so you can use your ways where you have struck. So if I can give the values earlier, from the earlier also, we are able to achieve, right? Directly we are not supposed to use. So now I'm going from here, then I can click on update. Some glitches are there in Xanadu version. I can open this problem record again. Problem. Okay. So I have added these steps as well, guys. I will run the test. Right. So without using custom step also, we can able to achieve that one. So for custom step, I can show you in the tomorrow session for change request. for change request we are not able to open our page directly, right? We need to click on the components. So you can learn from there. That will be most important step, guys. So if you are not able to use that steps, so make sure you can use alternate ways, guys, right? So we are in fix. So once we can click on the fix, it will move to the fix in progress. So right, it was went. So now we need to click on the resolve. So once we can click on the resolve, it will go to the resolved state. So I can do that. I'm clicking on resolve button as problem manager, right? So we can quickly go to go here and click on resolve. Then again you can use add test step and click a UI action. So what UI action we need to click? Resolve. So there is only one record available for problem. So I'm taking that. So now I have clicked on the resolve. Then if I can click on the complete, then it will closed, right? So here I have clicked on a resolve button, but I want to impersonate as our ITL user. I want to complete from ITL user. So till resolution only problem manager will do. The closure might have came for the user who is having who has opened. So now till now here we are good. So I need to impersonate back as my user number one. So what I can do? So I can add a step and I'll take impersonate user as. So guys, do you need to take from here search box or data pill? Here we need to take it from the data pill. Why? Because we already created the user. This was already available. So I am taking this step. Then it will impersonate as this particular user, right? So now I need to open the existing record after every impersonation. So what I need to do? So here in the test step number 10, we have clicked on the resolve button, right? So as this user, I need to open an existing record of which record I need to open, guys? Step number 10. If I can click on my data pill, use step number 10, open the same record, then automatically it will open. So then at a step, click a UI action, complete. So now who is closing this problem ticket, guys? ITL user only. Till resolution, we have used problem manager. Closing a ticket is from ITL user. Whether I'll run the test, we can see. So guys, the most important thing is why I have impersonated here and there. So first of all, I have created a user, right? So I have impersonated with the same user. So with that user only, I have created a problem ticket till here. I have assigned this ticket to the problem manager who is having a full-fledged access to work on. So I have impersonated as problem manager now, right? So once the problem manager has impersonated, the states has been changed from assessed to resolved. Everything has been uploaded from the problem manager side, right? So now the thing is, we need to impersonate. I don't want to close the ticket for as a problem manager. I want to close a ticket as an ITL user only. So at that time, what I usually do. So now if you can see guys, resolve is till here resolve we have came on. Now we are impersonating. So here we have impersonated as problem manager again. So if you sorry, user again. So it will fail or pass now. It will fail, right? Why? Because we don't have a complete button, but we have already clicked the complete button here, right? Got my point, guys? Even though I have impersonated as user, right? If you can see, error has came. So then you can click on this go to result. What error is there? So here every status has success, success, success. So the failure has came on the last one, guys. Click a UI action. So what is the failure? Failed to find UI action complete on the problem form. Why? Why? Because as an ITL user, we don't have access to see a problem, a complete UI action on the problem form, right? So if you have, if you can observe here also in summary section also, if you can see failure, failed due to find the UI action complete on the problem form, right? Why? Because we have impersonated as an ITL user. In this way, we can find it out the failures also, guys. So now what we need to do is, if I want to get a success for this thing, so what I simply do, I can open this record. I'll I don't want to impersonate as a prop ITL user, so I can simply make these two as false. I'm updating this record. So if I can click on run test now, it will definitely pass, guys. Why? Why? Because as a problem manager, he is able to see the complete button, right? So guys, today's session has been extended, huh? So we'll close after this one, guys. So make sure whatever the errors are coming, right, you can see on your logs. If you can able to see that error, you can rectify from the errors what mistakes you have done. So now if you can see, we can able to see complete button. Why? Because we are currently running as a problem manager. Earlier we are running as an ITL user. So ITL user doesn't have an access for completion of ticket. So this is how, if you can see, it was success now. if we can go to results also, you can able to see we can close successfully everything, why it got success and why it got failures also, it will give pin to pin. So for example, I want to see which one is passed and which one is failed. So if I want to check the previous data also, just go to test results. You can see here now we have success and earlier it was failed, right? If we can see what is the failure reason for this test, you can see. If you want to open, you can open from here also, guys. Every log has been getting captured. So this is how we can check, right? So the previous records also we can see, guys, right? So till here we are good for today, right? If you have any doubts, please let me know. Anyone is having any doubts?